Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful, rainy Victoria here in Western Canada, situated along the Pacific Ocean. Welcome Brian, hi Eba, hi Storm. Welcome to our chat moderator Carolina. Good to see students in the class and ready to learn. Everybody, we are looking at an IELTS reading section. We're going to be reading about tigers. Now this reading is taken from our academic materials. However, this could easily be a passage in reading section 3 of the general IELTS exam as well. This lesson, as usual, is brought to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Visit us there. For the general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. These are the websites that power these live classes. They contain our materials, these practice exams, lots and lots of videos. Click the big red button that's above my head on the website to join the premium version of the course. It's a one-time payment. You get lifetime access. We're an IDP affiliate, a British Council partner, an IELTS test registration center, and you get premium Zoom classes each week as a premium student. Hi Elizabeth, hi Sangeeta, good to see you all. General IELTS students, it's gieltshelp.com, green background, same thing. Click the big red button and then use the code VISTA10 for a 10% discount for that one-time payment, students. Premium students, I'm sending you your Zoom links today. You should see them in your inbox. If you're curious what those classes look like, everybody, you can check that out with this playlist. There you go. You can look at those Zoom classes. For the apps that link to your websites, it's Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. If you have questions, send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com or admin@aehelp.com. You can also check out videos and get vocabulary from Instagram, IELTS_AEhelp and GIELTS Help. Okay, students, so right now reading. Tomorrow we'll do speaking part 2, speaking part 3, and then we'll do speaking via Zoom with video audio chat on Sunday for the premium users. To practice your speaking ahead of time, check out this video. Here it is a speaking interview with a Turkish woman, Elif. She does an awesome job. Students, reading strategies. Number 1, look at the picture if you have one. Okay, so look at the picture and title. Especially when they give you one in the IELTS. This is our reading passage today. We have this beautiful tiger either yawning or getting ready to eat somebody. No, I'm pretty sure the tiger's yawning, right? What a magnificent creature. What a magnificent creature this tiger is. Just a beautiful, beautiful animal. All right, so when you see the picture and you think tiger, you should immediately think, okay, well, what is a tiger? What is a tiger, everybody? It's obviously one of the largest felines. Feline is the cat family. It's a meat eater. It's a carnivore, right? It hunts. It eats. What does it eat? Probably anything from small animals like rabbits and birds to very large animals like deer or moose or boar, so maybe even humans, right? Where does it live? Well, it lives mostly in Asia. I know the Siberian tiger lives in Siberia. Bengal tigers live in the Bengal region, right, in India, Nepal, Bhutan. So, you know, I'm thinking about these tigers, thinking about what they do, where they are. I know they're endangered. I know one big problem with these tigers. And I think most people, right? Does everybody know that tigers are endangered? There's not many left on Earth. They're kind of They're highly endangered. There's only like a few hundred or a few thousand left. Everybody knows that. They were overhunted, right? People shot these animals relentlessly for their beautiful fur. And I'm sure most of you know that they're endangered, right? And we see them in circuses, in zoos. Of course, they're popular, right? Single and Savvy says there are some in East Africa as well. Really? I know there are lions in Africa. I've never heard about tigers in Africa, but I could be wrong. I don't know everything. I'm sure there are lions, but I don't know about tigers. So I gather all the information that I have in my head about tigers, right? And then I look at animals of different stripes. So, okay, well, I don't know much about this, but I can probably figure out that maybe we're talking about different kinds of tigers. Like I know there are a couple different kinds of tigers, okay? Miguel, that's a good question. Miguel is asking if you need some kind of level of English. I mean, you should be at least like around a B1 level of English, so definitely not in the A level, so not A1, not A2. If you're like a band 3 or a band 4 for the IELTS, I wouldn't recommend the course, so I think you should be at least like a low intermediate, band 5, to make good use of the course. So good question, Miguel. Okay. All right, back to the point here. So title, animals of different stripes, probably different kinds of tigers. Okay. All right, let's look at the questions. So here we have a categorization type question. Bengal tigers, so there we go. I was thinking correctly that we're talking about some different kinds of tigers here. And Siberian tigers. Okay, Bengal and Siberian. All right, one's in Bengal, one's in Siberia, so in different parts of the world, right? Okay. This is all in the passage, so we should read all of this. Lives further from the equator. Okay, and when you're reading this, you should try to paraphrase it. In the exam, you should do this in your head. At home, you should do this on paper. Okay, so the habitat is far from the center of the earth, center line around the earth. Okay, the equator, everybody, is that line that bisects the northern and southern hemisphere of the globe. Okay, above and below are the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. Right, the other two important lines that bisect the north and the south hemisphere. You have to know a little bit of basic geography, basic science, biology for the academic IELTS exam. It's a really good idea. Okay, Rika, good luck on your exam tomorrow. Good time to chime in. All right, so you're kind of paraphrasing this, okay? Easy way to remember the word equator, the country, Ecuador, equator, Ecuador. Okay. Make that connection. All right. Has a significantly higher population. There are a greater number of this kind of tiger. Okay. So again, paraphrasing using my own words, okay? Exhibits large size fluctuations depending on geography. So big differences in its size depending on where it lives. All right, sure. And again, you want to practice this at home, students. Paraphrasing is definitely one of your key strategies on the website, in your My Student account. When you start correctly with your full online interactive course, you have your key strategies there. Make sure to start with those. Paraphrasing is clearly described. It's explained why it's so important and what is paraphrasing. Go through it, learn it, practice it, because you need to know paraphrasing for all sections of the IELTS exam. In the reading, it's the way that they test your understanding. So you need to understand it and you need to be able to use it, okay, in your course. All right. So for now, we're just paraphrasing. Yes, furry boars, Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn. That's right. Okay. All right. So look at the picture, the title, then number 2, look at the questions. Read the questions that contain information from the passage and paraphrase these. Okay? So number 17, grows no additional fur during different seasons. Okay, has no extra fur during winter or fall. Usually that's when animals grow extra fur for the cold, right? Lives in a climate with large temperature fluctuations. Okay, lives in a region where the degrees go up and down a lot. All right. So now the next questions, the much dreaded yes, no, not given, or true, false, not given. Yes, no, not given questions, the only difference between true, false, not given, yes, no, not given is yes, no, not given they use for factual information. So here, because we're talking about tigers, we have facts on these, right? Like we actually have pictures and data and measurements. So they're not just the writer's opinion, but it's facts, right? Siberian tigers are bigger than Bengal tigers. So it's a fact. They know that. It's not a guess. Okay. All right. Don't read these. No point. We don't know if it's true, false, not given. No need to read that. Okay, it's just a waste of time. In fact, it's confusing. Here we have sentence completion. Complete each sentence with the information from the passage. Write no more than 2 words. So this is what's called short answer, okay, or sentence completion. Humans are not a part of the tiger's regular something. Maybe diet? I don't know yet, but we'll find out. While not common, the Bengal tiger will resort to something humans, especially if they are unable to process the flesh of other animals. And then attacks by Bengals are often committed in defense of the tiger's babies? Maybe. I don't know. They might have a different word for that, right? Okay. Good to see so many students in the class. That's fantastic. All right. So students, let's now read the passage. And yes, you should read the passage. Somebody wrote me an email and said, but there's not enough time to read the passage. If you cannot read the passage in 10 minutes and understand at least 60%, you're not ready for the IELTS. Don't waste your money, students, okay? That's my very, very honest opinion. So number 3, if you cannot read an academic IELTS passage or general IELTS section 3 passage in 10 minutes or less and understand at least 70% or so, 70%, you are not ready for the IELTS yet, so do not waste your money. Instead, focus on learning lots of English, lots of reading, and improving your speed and comprehension. Okay. Everybody clear on that point? That's a really important point, and I don't want to be a party pooper. Okay, so if you're like, oh, but I have to take the IELTS and so on, but just you're wasting $300 US. That's a lot of money for anybody. There's definitely no point to do that. Okay, so this number 3 is really important. If you think that there's not enough time to read the passages, you're not ready for the IELTS. Okay, it's reality. You have to be realistic. All right. Now, it doesn't mean you have to. So to give you, so some, like somebody's saying, well, what's an average, right? So grade 12 average English speaking high schooler. Obviously, I'm using the high schooler as the example because they're also getting ready for university. Can read an IELTS passage in about 5 minutes and understand 80 to 90%. Okay, so that's the reality of it, and that's who you're matched with because they're also getting ready for their bachelor's university program, right? So that's what you have to think about. All right. Amarnath Yadav, I've got lots of tips coming for you right now in this reading. Right now, students, we're going to read this. Okay, so we'll read this passage together with the website. Students, on the website, you have the audio for the reading to help you prepare. So we're on the website here. We go to your My Student account, audio CDs, and I believe this one is, it's CD2 track 6. Just checking. Okay, so read with the speaker here.
The Siberian and Bengal tigers. The Siberian and Bengal tigers are two of the most well-known types of tigers. These tigers are very similar. In fact, they come from the same species, but they do have some important differences. These similarities and differences, while interesting to note, are vital pieces of information for the people in charge of the conservation of endangered species of tigers. Wildlife conservationists have to tell the difference between the two in order to keep accurate accounts of the respective populations. The first main difference between the two tigers is the location of their habitats. The Siberian tiger today lives only in the far northeast part of Russia, called Siberia, although it used to live as far west as Western Asia and as far east as parts of Alaska. One of the main reasons Siberian tigers do not live in China anymore is due to widespread illegal hunting there in the past. Bengal tigers live in a warmer, more southern climate. They reside mostly in India, but also in Bangladesh, Nepal, and Bhutan. Bengal tigers are the most numerous of all tigers, with approximately 1,800 living in the wild worldwide. Siberian tigers, conversely, number only about 200 to 300 in their natural habitats. Both tigers are extremely popular zoo exhibits, which further contributes to the low numbers of both, especially the Siberian tiger. There have been efforts to breed Siberian tigers in captivity, and many of these efforts have been successful. However, the offspring are unfit to live in the wild. At the very least, these efforts allow zoos to maintain their exhibits without taking even more tigers out of the wild population. Siberian tigers on average are larger than Bengals. The average weight of a Bengal male is about 220 kilograms, while the weight of a Siberian averages slightly heavier. Amazingly, Siberian tigers can be as large as 320 kilograms. The lengths of these animals are also different. On average, male Siberian tigers have a nose-to-tail length of 3 meters, while the Bengal's length is slightly shorter. Their tail lengths, interestingly, are the same, averaging around 1 metre. One notable observation is that the farther north in the Bengal tiger's habitat, the larger the animals get. The average weight of a tiger in northern India is about 15 kilograms more than ones in southern India, where the average recorded weight is 220 kilograms. Another clear difference between the two tigers is the seasonal growth of a winter coat for the Siberian tiger. Since they live in northern Russia, which is an unforgiving climate in the winter, the ability to endure temperatures well below freezing is essential for survival. Unlike the Bengal tiger, which lives in more equatorial climates around India, where the temperatures are more or less the same year-round, the Siberian lives in a climate where the temperature can vary more than 50 degrees Celsius. Because of this, Siberians grow longer fur in the winter. For example, the fur on the Siberian's back in the summer measures about 16 millimeters, while in winter this length almost triples. The Bengal tiger has no need for such a long winter coat. The two tigers share many similarities, including diet and reproduction. Being carnivorous, other animals are the food supply for both. The types of animals hunted are various due to the different regions that are home to these tigers. Bengals eat animals such as wild boar, water buffalo, and chital, while Siberian tigers eat primarily wild boar, deer, and moose. Bengals and Siberians have very similar reproductive cycles. Both tigers reach maturity around 4 years of age, at which time they begin their mating rituals. The females are pregnant for about 15 weeks and give birth to between 1 and 4 cubs. Each of these cubs weighs about 1 kilogram and will be entirely dependent on their mother for the first 6 months of life. After that time, they begin their learning process, where they develop the skills they need to hunt and kill for survival. After 2 or 3 years, the cubs are ready to leave their mother and hunt independently. And at the age of 4 or 5, they reach sexual maturity, and so the cycle continues. One last difference between the two tigers is a significant one, especially for humans. Neither tiger hunts humans as part of their normal diet, but one of the two tigers is known to be a man-eater. The Bengal tiger, under the right circumstances, will eat humans. Bengals will attack humans in 2 cases. First, they will attack humans who interfere with the Bengal's hunting or feeding. Bengal mothers do not take kindly to people when they are feeding their cubs. Also, older Bengals will kill humans for food because humans are easy to eat, unlike wild boar, for example. Human skin is soft and fleshy, perfect for an old tiger with weak muscles and worn-down teeth. Siberians, however, will generally not attack humans unless they feel threatened. As such, records show that Bengal attacks are far more common than Siberian attacks.
All right.
Supernovae.
That's the next one.
Supernovae are among the most...
Let's stop there. Students, those of you who have premium access to the website and have all of this wonderful audio, make sure to use it, okay? Those reading passages, and there are lots, each and every exam has the reading passages recorded in the premium version. It's very, very useful for practicing your pronunciation, your reading skills. So audio reading, and I mean, even if you're not using the website and some of you are not premium students, just doing this kind of read along with a native English speaker is super, super useful for preparing for your IELTS test. Okay, let's get some volunteers to read this passage and then we'll go through the questions together. So we'll use Zoom for this, everybody. So we'll do some Zoom reading practice. This gives you a little taste of what these premium student Zoom classes are that we have each week. Again, premium students, I'm sending you your Zoom links today. Okay, so you should have them, and then we'll have our Zoom speaking class on Sunday, and we'll do a reading class on Wednesday. So you'll get a little flavor for this now, everybody. Here is the Zoom link for this reading. Please join that Zoom. I'm just going to start it up now, and then we will meet each other there, and you can volunteer for reading and for answering questions. I can't use video because I'm using it obviously in YouTube. But you see that there are already people joining in. So we have V, we have Murtazo, Anahita, Jane, and lots more. Students, as you're joining in, just quick FYI for your information. To volunteer, use your reactions. You can raise your hand, and then this little hand will appear next to your name, and you can lower your hand. Okay, let me start allowing students into the class. So Flower, good to see you in the class as well. I'm just going to mute everybody for now. There we go. And then we'll unmute you as you volunteer. Okay, so Temi, again, the link is this link here. It's in the chat. All you have to do is click on it, as long as you have Zoom installed, which I know many of you do. You should be okay. So Elizabeth, Ola, Ariadna. All right. Murtazo has his hand up, so should be good to go here. Let's start with Murtazo. Murtazo, are you there?
Yeah, hello. How are you doing today?
I am superb. How are you, Murtazo?
I'm good.
All right. Murtazo, where are you? Can you tell everybody?
I'm from Uzbekistan.
You're in Uzbekistan. Have you ever seen these tigers?
No, I have never seen. I've seen only on the YouTube videos from National Geographic.
No, never in like a zoo, by any chance?
I visit sometimes, but I have never seen.
No, not these ones. Okay, all right. Well, one day I'm sure you'll have the chance for sure. I've only seen them in zoos as well. I've never seen them in the wild myself, but yeah, they're just amazing. All right.
I hope.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Life is long and beautiful, so I'm sure you will. Okay, Murtazo, visualize. So imagine that you are visiting a zoo, or you are in Siberia, and you happen to spot one of these beautiful creatures. So visualize it, okay? And we'll get you to read. So you should see the title on the screen now. So whenever you're ready, go ahead, read the title and read the first paragraph for us.
Okay, give me a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I will do at my best that you told on the video lessons regarding reading.
Mm-hmm.
Animals of different stripes. The Siberian and Bengal tigers are two of the most well-known types of tigers. These tigers are very similar. In fact, they come from the same species, but they do have some important differences. These similarities and differences, while interesting to note, are vital pieces of information for the people in charge of the conservation of endangered species of tigers. Wildlife conservationists have to tell the difference between the two in order to keep accurate counts of the respective populations.
Good. Okay, Murtazo, in a nutshell, in one sentence, what is the introduction about?
I think it's about type of difference about tigers types.
Two types, right?
Yeah, two types.
Which two?
Wilderness and
Bengal,
endangered.
Bengal and Siberian.
Bengal and Siberian.
Right.
Bengal and Siberian tiger.
Why is it important? Why is it important to know the difference between these two?
People who are in charge of conservation.
Saving them, right?
Yeah.
So in a simple way, Murtaza, you're doing so good. Read another paragraph for me. So when you see it on the screen, go for the first main. So this is like a magazine article, so it's columns. So go from the first main difference.
The first main difference between the two tigers is location of their habitats. The Siberian tiger today lives only in the far northeast part of Russia called Siberia, although it used to live as far west as Western Asia and as far east as part of Alaska. One of the main reasons Siberian tigers do not live in China anymore is due to widespread illegal hunting there in the past. Bengal tigers live in warmer, more southern climate. They reside mostly in India, but also in Bangladesh, Nepal, and Bhutan. Bengal tigers are the most numerous of all tigers, with approximately 1,800 living in the wild worldwide. Siberian tigers, conversely, number only about 200 and 300 in their natural habitats. I think this part about the habitat of tigers and the causes of why they live different part of countries.
Okay, so good. You had the first part. So you said this paragraph, good. And I love how you immediately jumped to that. You realize that, hey, I should do this every paragraph, what it's about. So you said it's about their habitats and their
population.
That's right. Okay, so habitat and population. Perfect. And if you're in the IELTS exam, for sure, you can write that down on the note paper. So you can write P1 like this. Like for a lot of students, they told me that it's very helpful when they do this. So they just write down something like this. Like they go P1, which means paragraph 1, or sometimes it's better just to do intro. And then they go Bengal, Siberian, and then something like Save Tigers. And then they go body 1 or paragraph 2. You can do it like that. And then they just write down habitats and populations. Okay. And then basically when they finish, it's very quick, right? So when they finish the passage, they have 7 or so quick little notes like this. And then when they're doing the questions, they can just really quickly go, oh, that one's about habits and population. So it's paragraph 2, I can check, right? You get that?
Yeah. I am doing in the ways that you told on the lessons, like I mark every paragraph in whatever in article or reading passage, and I mark with them with the letters, and I try to use the critical thinking by writing down what, how, and why questions, and I try to give my summary and give a heading for every paragraph. I am doing these techniques in every day of my life.
Awesome. And how's it working? How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, my speed reading is increased and my comprehension has increased also. And nowadays I'm able to answer the 50% of questions in reading passage without looking back them after reading once.
That is awesome, Murtaza. That's literally the goal. So the proof is in the pudding, and you're living proof. So that's perfect. I appreciate you sharing that with everybody. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Murtaza, for reading those paragraphs. And that was great. That was great. You're on the right track. So well done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you too.
All right, that was Murtaza, everybody. He is an example student of what you need to do and how you need to do it. That is awesome. Okay, let's jump to, again, students, so there are lots of you in the chat now. There's, I think, 14 of you, which is great. So the link for the Zoom session is in the chat. I think it's a little ways up now. Maybe I'll put that in one more time for everybody. So I'll do it one more time. I'll put the link in, okay? All right, everyone. There is the link one more time for the Zoom, where we're at right now. And to volunteer, put your hand up, okay? Let's go with Abhimanyu? Abhimanyu, can you unmute yourself, please?
Hello, sir.
Hi, Abhimanyu. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Thank you, sir. Thank you for asking me.
For sure. All right. Abhimanyu, what part of the world are you in?
I'm from Indonesia, South Sumatra province, sir.
South Sumatra. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Cool. All right. There are tigers in Indonesia, aren't there?
Yes, there's we call tigers Sumatra.
Yeah, the Sumatran tiger.
Yeah, it's the Sumatra tiger.
Yeah, of course. And the Sumatra tiger is a different tiger a little bit from these two. I think it's a little bit smaller.
Small.
Yeah,
yes.
It's a little bit smaller, which makes sense. Island animals are usually smaller. I live on an island too, and our animals are smaller than the ones on mainland Canada. So they're the smaller, but they're also very beautiful tigers, right?
Absolutely, but it's going to stick because deforestation and human expansion creates less habitats for these animals, sir.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think there are 5 or 6 subspecies of tigers in the world, and I think they're all endangered. So unfortunately, that's the case. But anyway, back to point here. So let's do this. You should see the next paragraph come up on the screen. Both tigers are extremely popular. So go from there.
Both tigers are extremely popular zoo exhibits, which further contributes to the low numbers of both, especially the Siberian tigers. There have been efforts to breed Siberian tigers in captivity, and many of these efforts have been successful. However, the offspring of the unfit to live in the wild. At the very least, these efforts allow zoos to maintain their exhibits without taking even more tigers out of the wild populations.
So what's this paragraph about?
Siberian tigers captivity.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, so tigers in zoos, basically, simply put, for sure. Okay, keep reading with Siberian tigers on average.
Siberian tigers on average are larger than Bengals. The average weight of a Bengal male is about 220 kilograms, while the weight of the Siberian's average slightly heavier. Amazingly, Siberian tigers can be as large as 320 kilograms. The length of these animals are also different. On average, male Siberian tigers have a nose to tail length of 3 meters, while the Bengal length is slightly shorter. Their tail lengths, interestingly, are the same, averaging about 1 meter. One notable observation is that the farther north in the Bengal tiger's habitats, the larger the animal gets. The average weight of a tiger in northern India is about 50 kilograms, more than ones in the southern India, where the average recorded weight is 220 kilograms.
Great. What is this paragraph about?
Comparisons between Bengal tigers and Siberian tigers.
Specifically, what are they comparing? Because the whole essay is a comparison between the two. So
size,
specifically,
the weight and the size.
Weight and size, yeah, the weight and size comparison. Which one's bigger?
Siberian.
Right. How much bigger?
100 kilo weighter than Bengal tiger.
Yeah, you can say up to 100 kilograms more. Yeah, 320, right, as opposed to 220. How big are the average tigers in North India? What's the weight?
Of 50 kilograms.
What's the average weight of the tigers in North
220
India?
kilograms.
In North India.
in the North India. Oh, 235 kilograms.
Ah, there you go. That was a little bit of math question there for
Yes.
you, right?
Yeah, it is the last sentence on the paragraph.
That's right. Students, it's really good to challenge each other like this, especially if you're studying together in the reading, to do questions like this with each other that we're practicing right now. It's a great way to improve your active reading and your comprehension. And you're doing great. So you're answering the questions correctly. And IELTS does that. So IELTS will have these kinds of little math questions, like they'll have a multiple choice, and they'll have northern tigers in India weigh approximately 320, 220, or 235 kilograms. And you have to figure out that it's 235 kilograms from the passage. So what we're asking each other could be a question in the actual question set. So it's good. One last question. Which one has a longer tail, Siberian or Bengal?
I try to remember Bengal tigers.
Not quite. Look at the chat.
Oh.
Some of your peers are helping you.
Oh, Siberians.
No, Elizabeth has it wrong. Some of the other students have it right, though. Anahita has it right. Single and Savvy has it right.
Oh, this is same lane.
Yeah, it was a trick question. It's right here. Read this sentence one more time for me. Their tail links.
Oh, the tail lengths, interestingly, are the same, averaging about 1 meter. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, this is a very difficult. While we're reading, we have to visualize and remember some words to create, to things visualize the passage, sir.
Yeah.
And I try to use your strategy, but
it takes practice. It takes practice. Yeah. No worries.
And it's lots of practice.
Yeah, it is. So you have to kind of, picture these tigers. That looks like a terrible tiger, but one's Siberian, and then the other one's going to be a little bit smaller, and it's going to be the Bengal, and you kind of visualize it, and you see that, their tails are the same length, but the Siberian one is 320, and this one's 220 kilos. So that's the difference, right? Fariborz is laughing at my drawing, so I'm going to stop now. But you visualize it. Visualize it. By the way, if you're quick, and you can do like a little line character in the IELTS exam, if you have two kind of visual comparisons, like here where you have two tigers, you could, in your note paper, do a quick drawing while you're reading and just make notes that way. That's a very good way to do it as well, for sure. Okay, so it's not a bad strategy. Just make sure you're quick at drawing. Some people are really good artists and very quick, so you could definitely use that. Okay, Abhimanyu, thank you so much for volunteering. I appreciate that, and keep practicing. You'll get there. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, that was Abhimanyu. Everybody can give a thumbs up in the chat like Elizabeth's doing on YouTube, or in Zoom. You can also give a thumbs up, and that's fantastic. Flower, we haven't heard your voice in a while. Keep your hands up, everybody. We've got lots of time and lots more to go. Flower, if you can unmute yourself, please.
Yes.
How are you, Flower?
Hi, sir. I'm pretty good.
All right. Flower, any tigers in Vietnam?
Yes, we have like some kind of tigers in Vietnam, especially in the zoo.
But you have them in the wild too, don't you?
Yeah, it's about like maybe 5 days already, I guess.
I think it's another type of tiger. It's like a fourth type of tiger that you have in Vietnam, right? So it's another kind of tiger. I think there's 5 or 6 subspecies. But anyway, Flower, are you ready to read a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's do it. So you're reading from Another Clear Difference Between.
Okay. Another clear difference between the two tigers is the seasonal growth of a winter coat in the Siberian tiger. Since they live in northern Russia, which is an unforgiving climate in the winter, the ability to endure temperatures well below freezing is essential for survival, unlike the Bengal tiger, which lives in more equatorial climates around India, where the temperatures are more or less the same year round. The Siberian lives in a climate where the temperature can vary more than 50 degrees Celsius. Because of this, Siberian grow longer fur in the winter. For example, the fur on the Siberian's back in the summer measure about 16 millimeter, while in the winter, this length almost triples. The Bengal tiger has no need for such a long winter coat.
All right, what's this paragraph about, Flower?
It's about like in the winter, the Siberian will its fur will grow longer. It triple.
Right. Flower, do I remember correctly that you have a dog, like a sled dog or something like that? Was that you that has the sled dog? It's somebody else that has the sled dog. Okay, somebody else from Vietnam has the sled dog.
Yeah.
Because that dog would also grow a winter coat. They're also called Siberian Huskies for a reason. All right. Anyway, no, that's a different student. I thought maybe it was you. Okay, but you're right. The Siberian tiger grows a winter coat, right? Because the winters are really cold, the summers are hot.
Yeah.
What do we call that in biology when an animal changes its biology or its behavior to suit its surroundings or its climate? What is that? Anahita has the right idea. It's called
Adaptation.
Yeah. Adaptation.
Adaptation.
Yeah, so one way you could summarize this paragraph is to say the Siberian tiger's adaptation to cold winters, a long winter coat, right? So one more time, Flower, what is this about?
It's about the adaptation of the Siberian
adaptation.
Sorry, I just wasn't thinking straight at that time. Okay, so adaptation of the
Siberian
tiger.
Exactly. All right. Let's give your peers a chance here. So, Flower, that was great. You got a longer paragraph. We'll go back to Zoom here. Thank you so much for reading about a little bit about that. That was an interesting paragraph. Any questions about the reading, Flower?
No.
No, it's all clear?
Yeah, it's all clear. Thank you.
That's a good sign, Flower. That's a good sign if it's all clear. All right. Hang in there. We'll go through the rest of it and some of the questions as well. Thank you so much, Flower. All right, that was Flower. Let's give Flower a thumbs up. She was reading an interesting part about the Siberian tiger's adaptation there. All right, Alexander, you've been very patient. Unmute yourself, please. Everybody else, there's more to go.
Hello.
How are you, Alexander?
It's gonna be. How are you doing?
I'm good. Alexander, I saw that in the chat you said it's called the Far East tiger as opposed to the Siberian tiger. I know in English they call it the Siberian tiger, but I have heard it called Far East tiger. It just in English it doesn't sound as punchy, I think, and so they call it Siberian tiger. But in other languages I have heard it called the Eastern tiger.
Oh, it's not only Easter, it's Amur tiger or Chinese tiger or Korean tiger, they call it in reality.
Yeah.
But my concern, I'm not sure who created this text. As you taught us, we can make up some information, but here so many mistakes. For example, Siberia is not north of Russia, just east of Russia, total Siberia.
It's
exact habitation of these tigers are far east and south even of Far East.
Yeah.
So just for reference, from south of Far East to north of Far East, about 5,000 kilometers distance.
Yeah.
It's not north at all.
Fair enough. Fair enough, Alexander. It's definitely the way that you'll see it in some Western texts as being described. I think it's just a difference of perspectives, but I know you're right about what you're saying. Unfortunately, the reason why Chinese and Korean tigers don't make sense anymore is they don't live in those countries unless they're in zoos.
They do. They do. Don't be wrong. In
Really?
North Korea, yeah, exact habitation of these tigers on the border between Russia, North Korea, and China.
Okay.
It's a forest. Yeah, it's called forest.
Well, ideally they would be everywhere there, right? Hopefully their numbers grow and they roam around there everywhere. Anyway.
Maybe it's a reason why some Asian countries, small countries, called Asian tigers.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, Alexander, let's keep reading. So the two tigers share many similarities. Let's go from that.
The two tigers share many similarities, including diet and reproduction. Being carnivorous, our animals have a food supply for both. The types of animals hunted are various due to the different regions that are home to those tigers. Bengals eat animals such as wild boar. Unlike wild boar.
No. It's coming. You have to go all the way back to the top because it's like a magazine article where it goes column by column. So you have to go to water buffalo and chital.
Okay. But you have to... Yeah.
You'll see it.
Okay, water buffalo and chital. While Siberian tigers eat primarily wild boar, deer, and moose. Bengals and Siberians have very similar reproduction cycles. Both tigers reach maturity around 4 years of age, at which time they begin the mating rituals. And please raise up.
The females.
The females are pregnant for about 15 weeks and give birth to between 1 and 4 calves. Each of these calves weigh about a kilogram and will be entirely dependent on their mother for the first 6 months of life. After the time they begin their learning process, where they develop the skills they need to hunt and kill for survival. After 2 or 3 years, the calves are ready to leave their mother and hunt independently. And at the age of 4 or 5, they reach, I guess, sexual maturity, and so the cycle continues.
Okay, that's a nice long paragraph, but it could be summarized in a very simple phrase. I had to scroll up there. It's scroll up. What's that simple phrase, Alexander? How can we summarize this paragraph in a simple phrase? What is it about?
It's about life cycle.
Perfect. That's it. It's about the life cycle of the tigers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, life cycle and the diet, right? Talks a bit about the diet. That's perfect. All right.
Menu.
In the next iteration of our book, I will tell our guys to dig deep and research the more accurate content or information around what we know of Siberian tigers recently.
Maybe it was written last century or before. When south of Russia
not quite, but maybe we'll check Wikipedia. We'll source it again. We'll make some corrections.
Very clear about this. You can check it.
Right. Alexander, thank you so much for volunteering.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too. Bye, Alexander. All right. Always great to hear from Alexander. Give him a thumbs up. John, TB, could you unmute yourself, please?
Hey, man.
Hi, John.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm
Fine.
good. I'm used to my friends calling me hey man or hey dude. Sometimes it's good.
Sorry
it's okay.
if I called you like that.
It's okay. You got me a good chuckle. Thank you. All right, John, whereabouts are you?
I didn't quite understand what you're saying. Can you say it again?
Yeah, where in the world are you today?
I live in the Persia, Iran.
In Iran, Persia. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Any tigers in Iran?
If there were any tigers, they would be probably dead. I mean, they don't care about animals here.
Oh, that's terrible. All right, well, John, let's do a bit of reading. So this, I believe, is the conclusion here. You're reading from One Last Difference Between the Two.
Which one do you mean?
Yep, you'll see it come up on the screen in just a few seconds. There's about a 6-second delay between YouTube and real time. So one last difference between the two tigers is a significant one.
Oh, okay. One last difference between the two tigers is a significant one, especially for humans. Neither tiger hunts humans as part of the normal diet, but one of the two tigers is known to be a man-eater. The Bengal tiger, under the right circumstances, will eat humans. Bengals will attack humans in two cases. First, they will attack humans who interfere with the Bengals hunting feeding. Bengal mothers do not take kindly to people when they are feeding their cubs. Also, older Bengals will kill humans for food because humans are easy to eat. Unlike wild boar, for example, human skin is soft and fleshy, perfect for an old tiger with weak muscles and worn down teeth. Siberians, however, will generally not attack humans unless they feel threatened, and as such, I can't see that.
Records show.
Such records show that Bengal attacks are far more common than Siberian attacks.
Okay, so what is this paragraph about?
Look, I was not. I was just reading the text. I was not concentrated enough to see what it was.
But in a simple way,
you know.
In a very simple way. What is it about?
It was
tigers eating.
Yeah, tigers not attacking humans.
Yeah, the Siberian not so much. The Bengal, if it's old, slow, it'll eat a human. Humans are easy food, right? So in that case they might. So that's what it's about. Yeah, it's a combination. So everybody, it's a combination of reading and comprehending, and that's the trick, right? You have to focus on both, and for that you need to practice both. So you have to practice both reading, and then you also have to practice comprehension. There's a part in the premium course called Power Reading that teaches you exactly how to do that. So that's how you do it. All right, John, thank you so much for reading the conclusion. I appreciate you chiming in.
Man. Thank you, man, for your time. Thanks.
Okay, you're very welcome. Bye, John.
Bye.
All right, first time we heard from John, and it was great. Thumbs up to John. That was awesome. All right, let's reach out to another student here. Lots of students with their hands up. Anahita, you've been very, very patient, and you have your hand up. Can you unmute yourself for us, please? Hi, Anahita.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing superb. I'm doing really good today. Thank you for asking. How are you, Anahita?
I'm also doing well.
How's the weather on the east coast of Canada?
It's sunny today.
Ah, for us it's so rainy. I wish it were sunny. One of my friends is having a kid's birthday party with a bouncy castle and foam, and it's not the best weather for that. So. All right, Anahita, let's do this. So let's do questions 14 to 18. Can you read the question parameters, please?
Yes, sure. Lives 14 lives further from the equator.
No, wait, before that, read the instructions for the question.
Okay, classify the following facts as applying to A, Bengal tigers, B, Siberian tigers. Write the correct letter A or B in boxes 14 to 18 on your answer sheet.
Okay, now read 14. Thank you.
Okay, 14 lives further from the equator.
All right, which one is that? Which paragraph is that in?
Which paragraph? Further, it's I know it's Siberian tiger, but it's in the B, second paragraph, I think.
Yeah, super good. Anahita, you were paying attention. Yeah. Remember when we were summarizing? It was about the habitat there it was B, absolutely. Okay, good for you. Yeah, and it's the Siberian tiger, right? Lives further away, for sure. So the answer here is B, right?
B, yeah.
Very good. Okay. Number 15.
Has a significantly higher population. I think it was Bengals, because Siberian tigers are fading away. I mean, they are in extinction.
They're highly endangered. Do you remember the numbers? I remember the numbers.
320 and no 220 and 315.
I think you're confusing that with their weight a little bit, but you're close. It was 200 to 300 for the Siberian tiger. They're very, very few left. And then Bengal tigers, you remember how many they estimate? It was estimated 1,800, I think they said, for Bengal tigers, right? So about...
It was not mentioned because I didn't visualize such a number.
Yeah, it was right here. It was 6 times. I actually did the math real quick. So it said Bengal tigers are the most numerous of all tigers, with approximately 1,800 living in the wild. And then here it said 200 to 300. So I quickly had this number in my head of like 6 times. There's 6 times more Siberian than Bengal, roughly. So six Bengals for every Siberian, right? So here we have A, and some of your classmates kind of got that. That was great. All right, number 16.
Exhibits large size fluctuations depending on geography. It's Bengal tigers, I think.
Yeah, really good. Bengal tigers. What's the size fluctuation? We even did the math on this one.
It was the number that I just mentioned, 220 and 315.
It was 235 and 220. So it's about a 10%, a little bit less, 7% average size difference, right? In the Bengal tiger, north versus south. So it was 8. But you're right. You don't have to, I mean, okay, if we're doing like a university biology or taxonomy exam, we might have more specific questions like this. But for this, Anahita, you're doing great. Okay, number 17.
Grows no additional fur during different seasons. I think Siberian tigers grew additional furs because in the winter they needed to grow additional furs. But the answer is Bengal tigers.
Very clever. Students, notice how Anahita thought through the question. This is a very important tip, everybody. You can easily save yourself a couple of points in the reading section of the IELTS exam when you think through the questions. Okay, so this is an important tip, and that was really, really good, Anahita. I love how you're not just like automatically answering right off the top of your head, but you're thinking through the question. So think through the question. What I mean by that, everybody, is notice how Anahita didn't just jump to a conclusion. She said, okay, Siberians grow extra fur, but here the answer is Bengal because it's no extra fur. So you paid attention and you thought through the question and paid attention to this very important negative no here, right? So far it's B, A. And then the last one, Anahita, 18.
Lives in a climate with large temperature fluctuations. I think in the equator, the temperature is always the same. Therefore, it's Siberian.
Anahita, you are taking all of the right steps to get perfect scores. Notice in this one, Anahita used logic. right? She realized that Bengals are more equatorial animals. Siberians are more northern from the equator, even if we don't consider them as, so as Alexander said, they're in eastern parts of Asia there, but it's still north of the equator. So there's definitely a lot more temperature fluctuation. That's why they shed their fur. And so B is the correct answer. Do you remember now that you're thinking about it, Nahita, do you remember the amount of temperature fluctuation in the Siberians' habitats? How much it changes?
I don't remember.
It's 50. Just like for you in Ontario, the difference between summer and winter is like 50 degrees, right? So summers in Ontario can get, plus 25, 30, no problem, right?
Yeah.
Winter can get minus 10, minus 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you've got a 50 to 60 degree difference in fluctuation. So just like the Siberian tiger, Nahita, the only difference is we don't grow extra fur. We just put on a really big jacket, right?
Yes, sir, I have a question.
Go for it.
How many times do I need to improve from 5.5 to 6.5?
What do you mean by how many times?
How many days,
How much time?
How much time? Yeah.
It really depends, Anahita. It just depends a lot on your language ability. It depends on how much time you're spending each day on this. It also depends on how effectively you're studying. But if I had to say an average, I would say that to go from a 5.5 to 6.5 in reading alone would probably take about at least 400 to 500 hours of focused, effective learning.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, sir. I think I am lacking vocabulary. That's why I'm struggling with reading.
Yeah, vocabulary is definitely really helpful, and just really practicing your critical thinking. So visualizing and critical thinking is very effective as well. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Anahita.
Thanks, sir. Bye.
Bye for now. Okay, that was Anahita. That was really good. Anna, can you unmute yourself? Let's hear from Anna. Anna, are you there? See if Anna's still there. Anna,
Yes, sir.
How are you, Anna?
Hi, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for asking. Anna, are you ready to go through some yes, no, not given answers with us?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. Okay, so you should see number 19 on the screen shortly. Now here the goal is to figure out whether this fact is true according to the passage, the fact is false according to the passage, or the fact is not given and we don't know. So go ahead and read 19 when you're ready.
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Go for it. You should see question 19 on the screen.
Both animals are primarily meat eater.
Okay, first of all, Anna, is that important? Is it important to know about the diet of these tigers for the passage?
It is linked with the diet of tigers.
And is that important? Should we know that information? Do you think the author will give us that information in this kind of passage?
Yeah. Yes, it is important.
Yeah, so it has to be given. Yeah, so it's given, right? So that's what we have to figure out first, Anna, whether it's given or not given. Our first step is always just to figure out if it's given or not given. So this information is given, right?
Yes, this
Most likely
information is given.
All right. Now, is it this information or is it the opposite? Do they say that they're both meat eaters, or do they say they both eat vegetables as well?
Both animals are not primarily meat eaters.
Are not
I am not
primarily?
agree with this point.
Tigers, Anna, tigers. What do they eat?
Yes.
What does the word what does the word primarily mean?
It denotes the normal diet of tigers.
The normal diet of
In
tigers
case of
primarily means the normal. So primarily means mainly, mostly.
mostly, yes.
Yeah. So they are mostly meat eaters, right? They even tell us they eat like chital and deer and water buffalo or something like that. So they mostly eat meat. They're carnivores, right? So the answer here should be yes.
So, yes, yes.
Okay. Don't overcomplicate.
Okay.
Keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Primarily means mostly. Just like cats, I'm sure they probably chew on grass every now and then, but they don't, but it's not what they fill their belly with. That's for sure. All right. Next question, number 20. Can you read that one for us?
The gestation period for females is about 4 years.
What does a gestation period mean?
Gestation period means the time of breeding period.
The time of the what? Sorry, can you say that
breeding
one more time?
period.
Breeding. Close. It's not quite breeding. Ariadna has a little help for you there in the chat. It's the pregnancy. Yes, the period of pregnancy. Single and Savvy said the time of conception to birth. That's right. That's the gestation period. Conception to birth. So the pregnancy. Yeah. Is that important? So talking about these tigers, Alexander would tell us here that it is, because he's the one who read this paragraph. So pregnancy, are these tiger, is that important? It's important, right, to know this? Remember,
It is important, and in case of tiger,
it's given.
Almost,
okay, so it is given.
Yeah, it's given.
Okay, and is it true? So is that a fact? According to this passage, are females pregnant for 4 years?
No, it is false.
Yeah, it's false, so it has to be a no, right? Oh my goodness, could you imagine, Anna, being pregnant for 4 years? That would be impossible.
I don't imagine.
Yeah. I'm not a woman, but let me tell you, I can only imagine. I saw my wife 2 times do 9 months, and I was already kind of like, wow. So 4 years, yeah, no, it's like a university degree in pregnancy.
It is not possible.
Yeah, that would be something special for sure. I think humans have one of the longest gestation periods in the natural world, and yeah, so yeah, so I think the longest is something like 12 months or 14 months or something for elephants or something like that. But anyway, all right, number 21. Let's do one more. Go for it. Go ahead and read 21.
Young tiger need their mother for survival during their first half year.
Okay. Important? Is it important to know whether or not?
It is also important with this paragraph.
Okay.
And this is true. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the passage said 6 months, right?
6 months?
Yeah.
Means half years.
Yeah, it's the same thing, right? So it's a yes. Absolutely. Now you're on a roll. You're doing great. Awesome. Number 22.
Killing is a rite of passage which shows a cub is ready to leave its mother.
Leave, not live, leave its mother. So killing is a rite of passage which shows a cub is ready to leave its mother. Is that important for this passage or not?
Yes, it is important.
Well, you were thinking there for a second, right, Anna? Like you had to stop and think for a second, correct? So when you're stopping and thinking, everybody, then it's okay to answer maybe. Maybe. I don't know. It seems like it's a little bit too much of a detail to me, to be honest with you, but maybe it's important, Anna, and it's okay to say maybe.
Maybe it is not important, not given in the passage.
You're correct. That is the correct answer, but it's okay to say maybe. Like some of you might say, well, I don't remember. I don't. Now, the question, right, Anna, is did you visualize it? So did you visualize like a young little tiger killing an animal and being like, I'm ready, Mom, I'm ready to go? Did you see that? Probably not, right? Because we didn't read that anywhere.
Actually, sir, my network problem is there, so I reading problem.
Well, you have to visualize, right? One of the big tricks is you have to see it. So if the passage is telling you about a cub tiger killing and being ready for its solo life in the woods, then you should be able to, see that and remember it. If you don't remember it, you probably didn't read it, right? So keep that in mind. And if it's a maybe, then you can go back to that one paragraph where it talks about their life cycle that Alexander read about. Alexander, I did get your joke there about problem for the man as well. Yes, I had a good little inner chuckle about that. So you go back to that paragraph, and that's when you can kind of take an extra minute and skim read the paragraph, and then you realize that, oh no, they weren't. It talks a little bit about, hunting and killing, but it doesn't talk about them being ready to leave their mom. So this one is actually not given. It's a little bit suspicious. It's a little bit too much detail. Okay, Anna, one more question here. Number 23. If a mother gives birth.
If a mother gives birth to 1 to 4 cubs, it is common for one not to live past 6 months.
What do you think? Important? Not important? Did you see baby tigers dying?
Important.
Did you see baby tigers dying when you were reading?
The first in the first part it is important, but in later part it is not given in the passage.
It's not, right? We didn't see any baby cubs dying at 6 months. That's horrible. Probably happens. We don't know about that, but it's not given. It's too much detail. Anytime when it's a lot of detail. So anytime when you have that combination, okay, Anna, everybody, when you have that combination of it seems like it's a strange detail and I didn't see it. Okay, so anytime you have that, now sometimes it's worth taking a second look, right? But here's another tip, okay? If it's oddly detailed and you did not see it while reading, this is why visualization is so important. It's most likely not given. If you have time, go back and check. Otherwise, just mark it as not given and move on. Okay? Does that make sense, Anna?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Anna, for volunteering. You're on the right track. Okay, just keep practicing. You'll get the hang of it. Okay.
Sir, actually, I joined your class in first time, and in the previous class I can't join. In first time I joined in your class, sir.
Well, I'm happy you were able to join on it, and I hope that you come back again in the next few classes. We'll have speaking tomorrow, okay? So make sure you join, all right?
And sir, I'm from Bengal, and I saw the Royal Bengal tigers.
I had a feeling. I was going to ask you, and I had a feeling that you've seen these Bengal beauties, so that's great. Thank you for sharing that, Anna.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that was Anna. A real live witness of Bengal tigers. That's really good. Sayat, can you unmute yourself, please?
Yeah, hi, how are you doing?
I am great. How are you, Sayat?
I'm good.
Awesome. Let's finish up this reading passage. Here we go. We're going to do the sentence completion questions here. You should see number 24 coming up on the screen pretty quick here. When you see 24, go ahead and read that for me.
Humans are not a part of the tiger's regular.
What do you think? Regular what?
I think it's diet.
Yeah. How confident are you? Like if I asked you like 50%, 70%, 90%, how sure are you that the answer is diet?
I think 85%.
All right. I love it. I love how specific. Not 80, not 90, but 85%. Okay, that's good. That's good. I like that kind of precise confidence. Students, here's another tip for you, okay? If you're 80% or more sure about your answer, just stay with it. Okay, don't change it. 80, anything 80% or plus or higher is enough. A lot of students, they run out of time in the reading section and they lose marks, they get answers wrong because they don't trust themselves and they're searching for every answer. You don't have time in the IELTS exam in the reading to search for every answer. So if you are 80% sure or more of your answer, just put it in and go to the next question. Does that make sense, Sayat?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Number 25. Go ahead and read that one.
While not common, the Bengal tiger will resort to humans, especially if they are unable to process the flesh of other animals.
Mm-hmm. So, what will they do?
I think will resort to like attack humans.
Attacking. Well,
Attacking.
that might be okay. So we could check this if we're not sure, right? But I think you can figure this out if you think of logic. Look at the last part of the sentence. If they are not able to process the flesh of other animals. So process the flesh of other animals means what are they doing? Processing the flesh of other animals, they're basically doing what? They're not able. Yeah, so Single and Savvy says they're chewing, right? So they're not just attacking. And in the IELTS, you want to be specific. They're not just attacking the human. They're doing what? They're trying to...
They're trying to like...
Well, let's go back and check. Let's go back and check, Sayed. No problem. What you have when you answer questions where you're 80-85% sure, you'll have time to go back and check this. Now, this was near the end, okay? And read from here. First, they will attack humans.
Where is it?
You'll see it on the screen. It'll take you a couple seconds. YouTube is always a little bit slower, so but in a few seconds you'll see this first. I'll even highlight it. Read from there. You'll see it in like 3-4 seconds here.
First, they will attack humans who interfere with the Bengal's hunting or feeding. Bengal mothers do not take kindly to people when they are feeding their cubs. Also, older Bengals will kill humans for food because humans are easy to eat, unlike wild boar, for example. Human skin is soft and fleshy, perfect for an old tiger with weak muscle and worn down teeth.
Okay, good. Now, let's go back to that question. What do you think is the best word to finish this sentence? 25. While not common, the Bengal tiger will resort to... They might give it to you for attacking, but it's definitely not the best choice here. To
worn down or like
you'll see it in a second. It's close to attacking. So first the tiger attacks and then the tiger yeah, Ariadna has the right answer. Eating, right?
Eating
Humans, yes. Right? So, while not common, they say while not common, the Bengal tiger will resort to eating humans, especially if they are unable. It's this second part. So, if somebody says to, the examiners, like, why? They said attacking in the text, why isn't attacking correct? Yes. Then the examiner will say, well, the reason why attacking is not the best answer, and in IELTS you have to have the best answer, is because in the second half of the question it says, if they are unable to process the flesh of other animals. Basically, they're saying if they are not able to eat other animals, they will eat humans because humans are easy to eat, right? We're soft. We eat potato chips and sit in front of a computer. We don't run around in the jungle all day, so we're easier to eat. So that's basically the reason. All right, Sayat, so careful critical thinking, okay? Sayat, 26.
Attacks by Bengals are often committed in defense of the Tigers' cubs.
Very good. How sure are you?
I think 100%.
100%? Ooh, I'm always scared to be 100% sure, but you are right in this case, and the grammar is good too. I like how you use the plural form, cubs. Sayat, that was awesome. That's it. You're done. You're doing great.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. All right, everybody, that was Sayat. Big thumbs up for Sayat. I think that was maybe the first time we heard your voice, Sayat, and that was awesome. Good confidence, good discussion, and yes, when you think you know the answer a lot of the time, so be sure, mark it. Students, let's end the Zoom session for now. That was really great. If you're liking that Zoom interaction, the best way to get lots more Zoom interactions is by signing up for our premium IELTS course on aehelp.com or gieltshelp.com. Premium students get 2 Zoom classes each week. And we have one coming up on Sunday for speaking. If you're curious about that, you can check out this link here of what those classes look like. And that was a reading section. We'll also have a premium student reading on Wednesday. Thank you so much to all of my volunteers. You're all awesome people, really are. And I think you're brave, and I think that you should always believe in yourself and stay positive, because that's the path to a bright, happy future. I'm Adrian, and I'm signing out from Victoria here in Western Canada, where we do not have tigers. We have bears and wolves instead. Much love to all of you, wherever you are in the world today. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow for speaking classes. Bye for now, everybody.